and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who hopes that the ancient Aztecian blade they bought can summon evil from all sources of the universe. It's Anandi Boetes.
Don't you put that bad juju on me. This podcast is 5 minutes early.
Yeah. Matt, Booker's a good kid, isn't he?
Booker is the sweetest. Like, I actually wish we saw a little bit more of him. Like, the first time I watched the movie, I thought, they're quite, like, putting up the time here. But honestly, every time I watch it, I actually want more and more. I would love more Booker. I would love more Char, the older sister. I think those two, I would have actually liked to see more of. Booker is a sweet kid.
You know what I love about this movie? It's another just Christopher Landon jam that cost $6 million to make. Like, I love how this guy can take a tiny budget and make a Happy Death Day to You, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, and Freaky for next to nothing. And
Love it.
I think it's just when I first watched this movie, I was so impressed on what they did for $6 million. And I felt very vindicated because I was listening to the commentary on the Blu-ray, and he just kept complaining, Landon did, the director, about how cold it was in Georgia because they shot here during the winter. And I was like, yes! Because a lot of Northerners, they're like, oh, Georgia isn't cold, but it gets down in the 20s in here, especially at night, and it's really humid. So it just gets into your bones. And that's when they shot this, just in 20-degree nights at night. Doesn't matter where you are. If it's 20 degrees, you're going to be really cold. So because I've been on sets, I've been like 17, and I've been inside an industrial warehouse that holds everything in, and you're just freezing for 14 hours. So I wasn't happy that he suffered, but I'm just happy that other people realize how cold it gets at night in Georgia when you shoot. It made me happy. I said to tell you that.
No, that's pretty cool, yeah. But I mean, I love it. $6 million budget. Oh, that's great. Because this movie looks really great. They really did. There was like good details in the scenes. It didn't look like, a low budget movie at all.
Not at all. I think that's a credit to him, right? Because we've watched independent films before that really try to swing on their budgets. And it's kind of sad sometimes because they can't get everything they need to make the world as expansive as is needed. And in the end, the movie looks really stretched. But I guess on these movies, you never feel the stretch because he's just good at repeating scenes. You have the school, you have the square that you use twice, you have the various homes. Like, it's really low budget. And I kind of dig it. Like, he was talking on the commentary about how in every house they were in, they were always looking for other things to get more production value. And that's just
exactly
that. I guess that's the Blumhouse way, where you get full creative control, but you don't get any more money. So you get $6 million and that's it. And I learned that while shooting this, they had some really windy nights. They had some weather issues, which they had to delay production, which costs more because you have to pay people for that extra day, which means you need to lose things. So they had a couple days they had to cancel while shooting. And that really, this was shot in 35 days. So then I guess they maybe had those built in, but you're still paying for more days than what you expected. So it's like, I don't know. I love this movie. I've spent a lot of time with it recently, and I dig it. Also, like Catherine Newton. I think she's really good in this. She's not asked to do as much as Vince Vaughn is, because Vince is able to kind of go free. But I dig her looks in this movie. She's funny.
I love it where she wakes up as the Blissfield butcher. And she gets out of bed and the mom's like, oh, honey, like, I made breakfast. And like one of the first things she does as him is the dental dam just drops out of her mouth. I love that little moment. Like, she's got these great little, and I mean, yeah, because she's now all like playing this serious serial killer dude that's completely antisocial and just horrible. But yeah, she's got some fun moments too. Like, I liked what she did with it. I thought it was great.
And her walk changes. Like, she gets a different kind of stance and gait. Just kind of like when her mom's pushing her into the kitchen. It must have been fun for both of these actors, and you could tell in the behind-the-scenes stuff. They really enjoyed it. I bet it was liberating a little bit for Vince Vaughn, because he was recently in Drag Across Concrete and Brawl and Cell Block 99, which are incredibly violent Craig S. Zoller films. So this one's incredibly violent, actually. The tennis kills, geez Louise. But you could tell he loved it, because he got to be silly on set, but it never felt like he was being a caricature. I think he tried to play Catherine Newton like to the best of his ability with like the hair stuff and biting on his nails. So yeah, I don't know. You could tell he just loved it. It made me happy watching Vince just go free.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, listen, obviously this like, moves into the whole slapstick genre, but he still made it like subtle Vince Vaughn style. I mean, it was little things like, I don't know. It always feels to me like he's not like flamboyant and out there. He's much more in a space, but he's so energetic in that space around himself that it translates so well on screen. So yeah, from like little things, like for instance, I know you love the scene with him and Booker in the car, and like when Nyla goes in. Is Nyla?
Yeah.
The girlfriend? Yeah, Nyla. When she goes in and he's like, oh gosh, and he starts talking in hashtags, like hashtag nerves of steel, hashtag what is she doing? Like he's actually doing it as a girl, as like Millie Catherine, but he's still being subtle. So I laugh every time I watch him. Oh my word. When he also wakes up and that first scream that he does.
Do you got any ice cubes? Do you got any candy canes? You're like,
Oh,
no, and then he gets
beautiful.
chased.
Yeah, like when he's like in the bathroom for the first time as well, and he's like, oh wow, look at this floppy anteater. Do I wipe?
Oh yeah.
I love that so much. It's like this little, and he's like, do I wipe? And then he's not getting an answer, and then you see him go for the toilet paper. They don't show it, but like it's just these little, like tiny things that he does that I thought was, I mean, he got a lot of praise for this. Both of them did, and both of them deserved it because it was like very well done. Like it could have easily have been too much, easily, but I think they managed to control it and like, try and give it a more realistic vibe, even though it's this whole Freaky Friday, like body swap, a high concept. It was just, this movie is so fun. Like I watched it again this afternoon in preparation for the pod, and I just laugh all the time. The intro scene is amazing. The opening
Oh my
killing
gosh,
scene.
those 4 kills are gnarly. Woof.
It's so good and it's different, but like so hilarious at the same time. But we've got the bottle first, then we've got the toilet smashing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And he
That's
said, I thought it was
insane.
really funny. He just wanted to be very violent, and then he kind of went in tongue in cheek. But I thought it was kind of funny when he said that the tennis racket kill was kind of bougie. So he felt like that was appropriate for the house, and it just made me laugh, that kill,
Yeah.
because, and I have a question for you. I was watching, so I like to watch Dead Meat. They do that kill count. I just like James A. Janice, and I like watching those videos. But they were talking about how there's a complaint about how Vince Vaughn played Millie in a way that was much different from Catherine Newton. And she definitely had, I love the little scene in the beginning when she's walking in the school, and she ducks in between 2 people when she doesn't have to. And just her mannerisms of being kind of mousy. She's way too picked on, by the way. Like people, no, we'll get that later. But they said that her and Vince's body, or the Blissfield Butcher's body, is too out there. Like she was shy in the movie, but then in his body. But I think the whole point is she's becoming more confident, and you're in this large 6'4", 200+ person, so you're more like. Does that make sense? Like it's not. I don't think she's acting differently, but you and I think more confident, right? You're in this huge thing, and you're just having fun with it. I don't know why. It would be weird if she played her role all quiet again, and then you have the Blissfield Butcher being all quiet. It just wouldn't work. You need that energy.
Yeah, you definitely need that. I do get what people are saying, but I do think that you can suspend the belief within the story and the fictional story here that, yeah, dude, if you wake up and you're this big giant with all this strength and, testosterone on top of it all, yeah, you're probably going to be a bit different because suddenly you've got testosterone. So, I buy it. I do. I can understand where the confidence comes from. And you know what? They can say there's more confidence because that's part of the story. She's supposed to get more confidence and that happens, but she's still rambling on. She's still it's not like she's all of a sudden, yeah, I'm in charge and I know what to do. And now she's still rambling and being this big giant dude. But yeah, being all girly. Like even when she talks to Booker,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when they get Booker on the, I love it where yeah, she also pushes Booker like you know into the wall. It's like
Levels
woo,
him.
he's out because yeah, she's not used to like the strength that men have again with testosterone and muscle. And then yeah, he wakes up on the couch and freaks out because who are you? And she starts talking to him. There's a lot of rambling happening there, but I mean. It's like it's really now or never because what a situation. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what is she supposed to do? Just go like, you know, hide away and cry for days. That's not a movie anyone wants to watch. And like also a character that you really want to root for at the end of the day. So I think,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is kind of like, okay, well, this is the situation. You got to make the best of it, like right now, because there's a time thing happening as well. Um, yeah, I mean, I didn't have a problem with that. I
Yeah.
get what they're saying, but I think the fact that she woke up in a different body. I mean, we've seen body swaps. You put you know, those movies with like, the average girl, like she's mousy and shy and whatever, and then put her in a sexy body and all of a sudden she has confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why is it okay there but not here? Like, I feel like
Oh.
it's very much the same thing in a way. This is just you wake up in a body pumping with testosterone.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And you're a burly man.
you're a burly man, old. I mean, a bit old. My one thing was like, I would have loved if they did a little joke where, like, you know, she has to walk around in Vince Vaughn's body, like, you know, in story concept narrative. And it's like, yeah, balls are dropping a bit. So maybe also walk a bit funny. I don't know. That would have been funny, I think. But
Yeah,
yeah.
just feeling new parts of your. Remember I don't know if you've seen Avatar, but when Jake Sully gets into the Na'vi body and he just starts running and screaming and yelling after being really dour. I don't know. That could have been something like that, but what you just said and a lot more
Yeah.
R-rated.
What I
The,
just said.
you
Yeah.
know, you know what I just remembered? She was in Paranormal Activity 4, which was written by Landon. So they've been working together
Yeah.
for
I saw that too.
a
Yeah.
while now, like 8 years they've known each other. Have you seen her IMDb? She went from Bad Teacher to Paranormal Activity 4, then went to Ladybird? Jeez Louise. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, Halt and Catch Fire, Little Women, Supernatural, Blockers, which was really popular, Detective Pikachu, really popular, Little Big Lies, which was really, and then she did Freaky and Map of Tiny Perfect Things, which I really like. That's a fun flick right there. That's on Amazon. I don't know if you've watched it yet, but she's really good in it. It's a
Mm,
time loop movie, kind of like
okay.
Groundhog Day-esque or Happy Death Day. But you know what? I'm going to switch subjects completely. I like that Landon takes these high concept ideas that are quite familiar. You have Happy Death Day, which is a very familiar idea, but it limits the budget because you're repeating the same thing every day, so you can keep the budget down, locations down. But they make it so good, and Jessica Roth is just so alive in it. And then in this one, everyone's seen Freaky Friday or Big or the one with Fred Savage where they swap bodies. Like this is nothing new, but it's just a funny idea. Or Hot Chick. This one's, I guess the idea is not new, but I don't know. He takes really ideas
He
we've
does
seen before.
mashups.
Yeah, yeah, there it is. Yeah, like a time loop horror movie or a body swap horror movie. And I like that about him. I think that he said he writes movies he wants to see. And whenever
Yeah,
when I heard the idea of Freaky, I want to see that.
totally.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, gimme. I want to
I
see this.
mean, it's
But
inspired, right?
it is. But what's interesting is so like Michael Kennedy wrote this with Christopher Landon, right? Because he kind of came up with the idea, but Landon inspired him. So Michael Kennedy was like still new in Hollywood, trying to like break in. He was like working on productions. I think he was on it's one of your big animated, I want to say Family Dad or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But so like he said like so okay growing up because I read this cool interview that he did Midwest Movie Maker had a cool